Hey guys, welcome back. What we have here today is a treat for the Venom maniacs, because in this video, we will explore the character Samurai Venom, which has made an impactful debut on the pages of the Extreme Venomverse comics. As a celebration of Venom's 35th anniversary, Marvel came up with the Summer of Symbiotes event, introducing new symbiote characters from every corner of the Venom hive. As a result, what we have on the Venom roster are the Spider-Man Venom, the Venom family, Samurai Venom, Black Cat Venom, Life Model Venom, Venom 1602, Space Knight Venom, Venom Bloom, Madame Brock, Necroco, and, well, the list is kinda endless. And we are not complaining. But what happens to all these new Venom incarnations? Well, their storylines converge in the death of Venomverse comics, when the Venoms from all parts of the multiverse are hunted down by Carnage, who is headed towards his only goal, to slaughter any and every Venom. At the end of Samurai Venom's story arc in the Extreme Venomverse comics, he learns about the imminent threat from Carnage when Agent Venom pays him a visit. And this basically sets the ground for his induction into the death of Venomverse comics. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Samurai Venom? Exploring the entire story arc. Now, who is Samurai Venom? To put it simply, this symbiote is a katana-wielding Venom vigilant who has a major face-off with Oscorp Thug, the Scorpion, in the story Tip of the Blade by writer and artist Leonardo Romero. But the character is so much more than just his katana-handling skills, as the origins of this version of Venom are deeply rooted in emotional turmoil, just like the other two Venom embodiments seen in this issue. Samurai Venom appears in the last of the 3 stories of the comic issue, and to arrive at Samurai Venom's story arc, let's take a stroll through the other 2. The first issue of the Extreme Venomverse comics, published in May this year, recreates an iconic scene from Web of Spider-Man issue 1 from April 1985, which shows Spider-Man struggling to separate himself from the alien symbiote. Now, Peter Parker had also previously served as a host for Venom and got rid of it by locking up Venom at the Baxter Building with the help of Reed Richards. Hence, when Venom latched onto him again, he decided to make his way to the Baxter Building but was interrupted by the Vulturians. While battling the winged villains, Spider-Man discovered that the intense sound of the bells up close is the only way to detach the Venom from himself. Spider-Man continued to endure the intense tolling of the bells at the top of the tower, at the cost of turning his brains into Jello-O, telling Venom, "It sure as heck is going to get you." In the 1985 comics, after separating from Spider-Man, Venom saved Spidey from dying by bringing him down from the bell tower before it went ahead to look for a new host. But in the new comics, set on Earth 616, Venom lets Spider-Man die in the bell tower, something which it instantly regrets. This marks the rise of a new Venom, which has all the best parts of Spider-Man, including his sense of responsibility. However, what he also imbibed from Peter Parker was a sense of regret, which Peter was haunted by after losing Uncle Ben following a single act of selfishness. Mired in guilt for not having saved Spider-Man, Venom vowed to make up for his irreversible mistake by saving the world, just like Spider-Man always tried to do. Immediately after, the emotional wreck of a Venom attached itself to a vulnerable, suicidal Eddie Brock, who said in a moment of reflection, "In that moment, we were both seeking forgiveness. It for the act it had just committed, and me for the act I was about to commit." Venom then imbued Eddie Brock with Spider-Man's hero-like qualities, such as his sense of justice and duty, and his kindness, thus turning Eddie into a Spider-Man version of Venom. "The best parts of me aren't even mine," blurted out Eddie while feeling a compulsive need to prevent Dr. Octopus from going on a megalomaniac spree in New York, following a series of sonic attacks from Doc Ock, who rattled his metallic limbs together to torment Venom. The symbiote was forced to retreat from Eddie's body, leaving Eddie to think for himself for the first time since the bonding. He had an epiphany of sorts and realized the best parts of him can come from anywhere, even from Spider-Man, as long as you choose them for yourself. He then knocked down Doc Ock and desperately hoped that Venom was still alive. Now, having entirely accepted Venom as a part of him, Eddie towered over the injured Doc Ock and said, "We're Spider-Man." Interesting choice of pronouns, don't you think? After rendering Doc Ock unconscious with a final smack, just when Eddie Brock was hanging him up with in a webbed net, Eddie has an encounter with Agent Venom. With this, we come to the end of the first of 3 stories in the Extreme Venomverse issue 1. The second story offers a glimpse of Eddie Brock and Anne Wang's Venom family. They have a young son named Dylan, who hosts a ruthlessly aggressive Venom. In order to save Dylan from the clutches of the overpowering Venom, Eddie and Anne let their alien symbiotes take over and teach Dylan's arrogant Venom a lesson. In a family reunion of sorts, Anne and Eddie assure Dylan that they will train him to restrain his Venom counterpart. As they make their way back home, their shadow cast on the pavement takes the shape of a spider. This brings us to the final story of the issue, which introduces us to the Samurai Venom aka Takemoto Tatsuya, who possesses a katana. This narrative is set in a post-apocalyptic world, where the Oscorp-controlled citadel stands on a huge podium, towering over the slums below. Takemoto is a former soldier of Oscorp Industries, whose life took a fateful turn during a mission. Takemoto was investigating a strange signature underground when he unknowingly came across a katana encased in a Venom symbiote. The relic, which turned out to be a Venom hideout, liquefied and enveloped Takemoto's entire body, thus turning him into the Samurai Venom. When Takemoto's fellow Oscorp soldiers started attacking him, the newly transformed Takemoto was overpowered by rage and an uncontrollable thirst for blood, resulting in a massacre of the soldiers. Troubled by his dangerous alternate personality, Takemoto is on the run from Oscorp Industries, who wants to get their hands on the alien symbiote. While in hiding, Takemoto partnered with a woman named Marion with the intention of fleeing to another district in a train and to help a bunch of civilians escape Oscorp's regime. The secret behind Takemoto's transformation into the Samurai Venom is shown through a flashback nightmare which he has on the train. Soon the train is attacked by a menacing futuristic version of the Scorpion, who holds Marion hostage and asks her to turn over Takemoto. Scorpion reveals he is in search of the alien symbiote and wants to procure Takemoto's Venom costume, which Scorpion describes as government property. Enters Samurai Venom, who launches a blood-splattering blow at Scorpion, but is gripped by the Scorpion's tail, who then attempts to skin him alive. Marion then attacks Scorpion with her gun, rendering him unconscious with a blast of electromagnetic energy, following which the Samurai Venom disposes him off. Meanwhile, Takemoto is fully aware of what his Venom can do, and is constantly scared that it's going to take over. After his first encounter with Scorpion, Takemoto has the realization that I almost lost control in there, so I guess first I'm going to have to learn to control this thing. Back to the storyline. The passengers are now scared to death and want to get rid of Takemoto Tatsuya to avoid being tracked by Oscorp's Sinister Six. Just as Marion dismisses a debate over throwing off Takemoto from the train, they are attacked yet again, and this time by an advanced version of the Vulture. In the attack, the freight car catches fire and gets derailed, prompting Takemoto to spring into action. He instructs everyone to move to the front car and attempts to detach the remaining compartments, so that the front car can make it through the tunnel along with the passengers. Takemoto is targeted by the Scorpion again, which prompts him to let the Samurai Venom take over, who bares his fangs and successfully fends off the Scorpion's attacks. The Vulture then shoots at Samurai Venom and blows up the car he was in, confirming to his superiors that the target is down. Having established Samurai Venom is dead, Oscorp prepares to send a team to the location to collect the symbiote material. Meanwhile, Takemoto survives the explosion and is seen reflecting on how he needs to learn to control his Venom-like instincts in order to use his new persona for the better. But first, he needs to learn more about the symbiote, and he decides to break into Oscorp headquarters for information. Weeks later, Takemoto receives a surprise visit from Agent Venom aka Anne Wang, who is traveling the multiverse and recruiting several incarnations of Venom in preparation for the impending fight against Carnage. Anne Wang informs Takemoto about all Venoms across the multiverse coming together to fight against something extremely evil that's headed their way. There's not much time to explain, but you're in danger, we all are, and we could use your help, all the help we can get, to fight, she says. Takemoto, who was initially drawing his blade to attack the intruder, soon realized the gravity of the situation owing to Agent Venom's grave demeanor. Takemoto, who has been struggling to sync with his Venom, notices that Agent Venom is in full control of her symbiote persona and decides to trust her. Anne Wang says that there are more people like Takemoto where she is headed, and he can learn a great deal from them. Hoping to master control over his symbiote counterpart, Takemoto agrees to join the fight and leaves with Anne Wang. Samurai Venom's story continues in Death of the Venomverse, which is a limited 5-issue series published in August this year. Cullen Bunn, who has co-created the series, reflected on the title of the comics and said, "Perhaps that title is a bit of a threat for our favorite symbiotes, but I promise you it is not empty." He also promised plenty of surprises and some heartbreak, as some of the most liked symbiotes die fighting Carnage, and one of them is Samurai Venom. He reappears in Death of the Venomverse early on in the 2nd issue as part of Agent Venom's carefully curated team of Venom warriors. "Hit them with everything you've got. We've got one chance at this. Taken down," says Agent Venom as Carnage unleashes the monsters of evil on Agent Venom's symbiote squad. As Samurai Venom proceeds to slash the monsters, Carnage blocks his katana with his necrospear, the All Blood. Attacked by the venomized Doc Ock and the Craven Venom, Carnage unleashes a blitz of hellfire, which decapitates Doc Ock and fatally pierces through Samurai Venom, rendering him lifeless. Samurai Venom's katana didn't stand a chance against Carnage, who, having killed the samurai, was seen boasting about his powers. the All-Blood, Electro's Lightning, Mania's Hellmark, the power of dimensional travel, and the power of size manipulation. In the run-up to death of the Venomverse, Carnage has grown extremely lethal with every attack on its fellow Venoms and extracting their powers. What makes Samurai Venom so powerful? Hence, it's not surprising that Samurai Venom does not last long against the invincible Carnage. However, he still is quite a powerful Venom incarnation in itself. So what makes the Samurai Venom so powerful? Simply put, the combination of being a soldier and possessing Venom's abilities. Fans get a glimpse of Samurai Venom's extreme destructive powers when the Oscorp soldiers attacked Takemoto right after Venom lashed onto him in the underground ruins, and he ripped them apart, leaving no survivors. "I remember the rage and blood," said Takemoto, who shuddered at the thought of another bloodbath. Before he learned to control it, Takemoto viewed the Samurai Venom as a monster, having witnessed what it is capable of. We are introduced to the Samurai Venom's fighting skills when Takemoto briefly unleashes the Venom during his face-off with the Scorpion. With a power-packed kick and a thrust of his katana, the Samurai Venom successfully managed to knock down the Scorpion, despite him being covered in metal armor. The symbiote Vigilant, whose suit comes with enhanced shoulder blades and wrist detailing, displays the fighting style of a samurai. Well, no surprises there. Being a Samurai Venom, he is also extremely impressive with his katana-wielding skills. When Scorpion tries to pierce him with the stinger at the end of his tail, Samurai Venom successfully fends off the attacks with his sword. At one point, his katana and the stinger clashed, and Samurai Venom held his ground by pushing back Scorpion's tail with the katana. In another encounter, when the Scorpion tries to choke him with his metal tail, the Samurai Venom bares its fangs and rips through the Scorpion with its teeth. The Samurai Venom was so powerful that Oscorp sent not one but two seasoned baddies, the Scorpion and the Vulture, from the team of supervillains called the Sinister Six. Samurai Venom, however, did not get a chance to fight the Vulture up close and personal, as it took aims at the suited Vigilant while hovering around in the sky. Samurai Venom possessed great strength as he was the only one strong enough to throw off an unconscious Scorpion out of a moving train. Samurai Venom also had extreme endurance, having survived the train mishap. When Vulture fired at the train carriages, it toppled off from the tracks, blowing up in smoke. While everyone thought that was the end of the Samurai Venom, he survived and walked out from under a pile of burning rubble with his katana. We've seen that Takemoto remains preoccupied with thoughts of the monster inside him taking over, but that doesn't prevent the Samurai Venom from being extremely alert of his surroundings. Samurai Venom is the one who spotted the Vulture flying towards the train, and his quick thinking is what saved the civilians from dying. He asked Marion to move the civilians to the front car and lock the door while he attempted to detach the remaining train carriages, exposing himself to both the Scorpions and the Vulture's attacks. This showed his hero-like qualities, as he was willing to sacrifice himself to save innocent lives. The Samurai Venom is indeed an epic addition to Venomverse, so much so that Anne Wang was extra persuasive about roping him in for her symbiote squad. However, his much-anticipated showdown with Carnage was brief and resulted in heartbreak for those who were rooting for the samurai. Tell us what you think of the Samurai Venom in the comments below. And if you liked this video, give us a shout out and watch this space for more marvelous content.